Today we're looking at the problem, find occurrences of element in an array. This question reads that we're given an integer array nums, an integer queries, and an integer x. So we're given 3 inputs, as you can see here. So for each of the queries, we want to find the index of the query's ith occurrence of x in nums. If there are fewer than query's I occurrences of x, the answer should be -1 for that query. So we want to return an integer array containing the answers to all the queries. So it's a bit wordy, but hopefully this example makes a bit more sense. So we see that our x is 1. So this means that we're going to be considering the number 1 in this nums array. So what this kind of means is that, let's look at our queries. We want to find the first occurrence of x in this nums array, right? So the first time that 1 appears in this array is at index 0. So we record a 0 here in our first case. Now let's move on to the next query. So here we want to find the third occurrence of x. So we see here that there's only 2 occurrences of 1 in this nums array. So this is why we record -1 here, because there are not 3 occurrences of x, so -1. Now we move on to the next query. So the next query says, find the second occurrence of x in this array nums. So here we see the second occurrence appears at index 2. So here we record 2. Finally, to the final query, we see that we want to find the fourth occurrence of x in this nums array. So as you can see, there are only 2 occurrences, so there's no fourth occurrence, so we record -1 here. So that's the general idea of this question. So let's look a little bit closer at an example. So there are a couple ways that we can do this problem. The kind of brute force approach might be to say, okay, for each query, let's just iterate through nums until we satisfy our query. So let's say we're looking for the first occurrence of x. So we start at 1. We'll say, okay, let's go until we find a 1. Well, we're already here, so we just record 0 in that place because we're at the 0th index. Now let's go to 3. Okay, so we'll start at 1. We found 1, so we've only found 1. That's 1 out of our 3. We'll move on. We found 2. We record another 1 here. Move on. So we get to the end of the array. We haven't seen 1, so we know that this is an invalid query, so we record -1. So we could do this and go through each element of the array for every single query, but this is pretty inefficient. This would be an O of Q, since we're going through each query and query times n. This might be accepted, but this is definitely not the most efficient way. We could definitely speed this up quite a bit. So what if we were to already know all the places where that element occurs? So what we can do is actually have an array where we keep track of all the indices where this element x occurs. So I'll go through our array and say, okay, let's look for x. So we see x at index 0, so we record a 0 here. The next time that we see x is at 2, so we record a 2 here. And these are the only indices that we find when going through this nums array. So how can we actually use this with this queries array? So now we can actually find the occurrence in constant time. So let's start with the first query. This is saying, when's the first time that x occurs in that array? So we have the occurrences here. So what we can do is say, we want to find the first occurrence. This will correlate to whatever occurrence, so 1 minus 1, this index in this found indices array, right? So we say, okay, look at this 0th index. So 0 is 0. Let's start our answer down here. So we'll say, okay, so we saw that the first occurrence is at 0 by looking in this array. And we did this in constant time. So let's look at the second query. So now we see we want to find the third occurrence. So what we can do to quickly check is say, we're looking for the third occurrence, but the length of our array, the indices that we found, is only 2. So we can immediately put a -1 here because we know this is an invalid query. So now we go to the next query. We're looking for the second occurrence of 1. So like we did before, we're looking for the second occurrence. So to get the index, we do 2 minus 1 equals 1. We're looking at the first index of this found array, and that's 2. So we put a 2 here. Then we go to 4. Similar case to 3. We know that the length of the occurrences that we found is only 2. So there is no fourth occurrence that can possibly happen. So again, we put a -1. So this is the general gist of how this works. So the time complexity here is O of Q, because we still have to go through all these queries to generate this array, plus n. So previously we had O of Q times n. And this is because previously in the brute force, we were going through this array each time we did a query. Whereas now we're doing this array iteration once to find these indices, and then for each query, we can just get the answer in constant time. So hopefully this explanation makes sense. Let's go over to the code and look at exactly how this works. So we start by declaring this array that holds the indices of x. So this is going to be that array that we can access in constant time to get us the answers to all our queries. So what we're going to do is just go through all the elements and nums and say, if this current number is equal to x, it's a number that we care about. It's an occurrence that we want to query. So we're just going to add that index into the array. Then the second array is going to be the array that we actually return as our answer. So we're going to go through each query and we're going to check and say, if the occurrence that we're looking for is greater than the occurrences that actually happened, there's no way this can be a valid query. So what we do then is to that answer array, we append -1. Otherwise, like we did before, we're going to take that Q value. So say, for example, we're looking for the second occurrence. We know that would occur at index 1 of this array of occurrences that we found. So we take that, we subtract 1, and we add that to our answer. Then at the end, we're going to return this final array that we generated. So let's submit and make sure it works. And it does work. So hopefully this was helpful and it made sense. Thank you for watching.